Okay, live hook procedure with a truck. Once again, here's your power cord. Goes in the receptacle, usually at the bottom of the trailer below your main assembly. Make sure it's hooked and latched in. Pull your red air line so that you can't drive off with this in place and damage the equipment.
This type of lift gate has a manual or a main control box outside underneath the back of the trailer. These are a slide out lift. So what you need to start with is your down button, which says lift up and down. You need to roll this down 6 to 8 inches so that everything will clear when it slides out. Your next button up is slide it in and out. You need to slide this out. Okay, when the lift reaches extension, it will stop. Before you put it on the ground, pull your tray out. Then you don't have to bend over and you won't hurt your back. Run the lift to the ground. This lift is not a power down lift, so it will take more time. On most spring days. Open your door, you have a power button in here, up and down. Hit the up button and the lift will come up. Always stand clear. This is a pinch point between here and here. If you get your foot in there or you get your hand in there, it will pinch it. That is the up operation of the slide out lift.
Down operation of the lift is obviously just a reverse of the other process. Hold your down button. If you let up on the button, the lift will stop. Take the lift to the ground till you feel it make contact before you get off. Sometimes this takes a little time. When you have flowers on this lift, it will go down much faster. The flowers weigh anywhere from 800 to 1,000 pounds, and they will make the lift move much quicker. Get the bottom, step off the lift, raise the tray. Lift your unit up off the ground, then slide in. Remember not to lift the unit all the way up or it will bind up on the way in. Just get it off the ground so that it can clear everything while it's moving. Again, the lift will stop when it's in the locked position. Like so, and then finish lifting the lift up against the stopper. And that is the operation of the slide out. Okay, the last type of lift we're going to look at today is the Palfinger, the new Palfinger lift that we have on several trailers. So it works the same as the other slide out. You lower the lift, then you get some clearance here so that you can slide the lift out. You have an up button, a down button, and a tilt button. If you push these two together, it will extend the lift. Run it out till it stops. If you don't have it far enough, it may hit. This one will clear. There's your stop. These are your grab handles to pull the gate with. Run the lift all the way to the ground. Once the lift is on the ground, then you can open your doors. the up button, stand out in the center so that you're clear of the pinch points. If you do not have the lift all the way extended, it will not come up to the back of the trailer. That's it.
As you can tell by the sunlight coming through the top of this trailer, these poles will go right through the sides of this trailer. Having them thrown up on top of here in a bad situation, in a rollover, these things are going to come flying out of this trailer in every direction, spearing at everybody in a quarter-mile radius of that accident scene. This is definitely not a good way to do it. As you can see, it's thrown all over the top here. In one of these deals, he's got these poles in the bases at the bottom with these loose shells thrown on top. He also ran his strap across in the back, holding these poles in, thinking he's going to hold his bases. And we can't even get to it to unstrap it. Laying on top of it. Not a good way to do this.
This is Terry. He's been driving for us for 700 years. And he's going to show you how to make this look effortless. While Terry's doing this, I want you to pay careful attention, not just to the way he does it, but the way he's taking care of himself. He expects to live another 30 or 40 years. So when you do this, you need to make sure that you're very careful about your back and the way you lift. Everything he does is designed to make sure that at the end of the day, he doesn't have to see a chiropractor.
Right, throwing them down for you. Okay, thinking of the first one to start with. I throw two racks up in front so that I can throw the poles underneath so that when I start breaking them down, I'm not stepping on the upright poles. I can get them out of the way and I don't trip over. I got a pole stuck. I'm going to have to grab my hammer. And I do have poles are stuck in some of these bases. I also try to not stand behind the racks when I pull them down because sometimes the poles will shoot loose and that last shelf will flop out real fast. When I load the racks up or when I break down to the bases, I like to have everything pointed the same direction as when it gets to greenhouse, they're going to take it off with the trailer, which means I leave all of the tongues pointed to the back of the trailer as I break it down. Now that I have a few of the bases that are the same type base, I'm going to get a few of them stacked up so I don't get too much clutter in the trailer. These three have the same type bottom on them. They'll stick together fine. I'm going to break a few more down before I put the other one on that is a different type base.
Terry was showing you was that he would lay the bases out in a long row. This way he was able to look at them carefully and determine how they would fit together like this. It's important that when you're stacking them, they're not rolling around like this one you see right here. So what you need to do is make a determination as you're building this stack as to which ones are going to go first and which will fit properly on top of which others. You just have to be careful about that so you don't have a potential mess on your hand. The first shelf that Terry placed on top of this base, he hooked into the post holes. It makes it straight, it keeps things stable, it's the best way to start out.
Also, I guess when I'm putting it in, I try to make sure that, if I can, that the first two racks are put to one side of the trailer. The ones I broke down are put to the other side of the trailer. These next two, vice, so you switch back and forth and it'll hold it all in evenly instead of getting them all lined up and the load won't be straight when you get done with it.
If you have the opportunity to do something like this, strapping these vertical posts against the wall, that's very nice. Very nice. And that way we don't have to drag them out from under everything. It's just an alternative. Another alternative, if you're unable to stack these bases the way Terry showed you, is to lay them on their side and place them in like this. And while we're at it, I just want to point out that when you place these in here, it's nice to have them on the base so that they can roll. But you don't want to have them horizontally the way this driver did. We'd rather have them 90 degrees so that they don't create this problem here. If you notice how neatly these are placed here, there's a lot of utility in that. It keeps these from bending, it keeps them from sliding around. If you notice when you saw Terry doing it, he wasn't being careful because he's experienced at it and he was doing it quickly. But he was making sure when he threw them on here that they were lined up. That makes it easier all the way around. The whole point of doing this the correct way is really because it makes everyone's life better. The easier time we have pulling all of this equipment off the trailer when you get back, the easier time we'll have putting the cages back together, getting the plants in the cages, rotating everything through the system. We know you want to get out of here as soon as possible, as early in the day as possible. What we're trying to do in showing you how to do this the right way is just to make sure that when you come back, we can get the trailer offloaded, we can get plants on the trailer, and we can get you on the phone and say, come and get your load. That's the whole idea.